I thought this was supposed to be about stocks. Where?
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangster-ass nigga, bro, just call me.
Alrighty then. Oh, what's up? You know why, my friends, there has not been many videos being made? Because we are making monies in the market, yes? Your name was mentioned, yes? And I'm too busy shoveling and freezing my ass off, as you can see by my Gore-Tex lumberjack hat that I've got on. Call me names. Just got done shorting T-Zoo a little bit. A nice earnings reversal in the making right now. Do you think the market might be selling off? Do you think this day is going to amount to something? Do you? Are you really thinking that you're rubbing your hands together saying that this is the day that the market stops going up? I'm going to be the one that tops it out. I told you this would happen. After 28 months of being wrong about when the market's going to stop going up, you think this is going to be the day, right? You might be onto something, I'll tell you the truth. Okay, here's why. You got earnings reports coming out. Have you seen any stocks popping and going up extraordinarily well on earnings reports, except for today? Netflix. And what'd you get for it? You got a market that's going down. Most reports that have come out have destroyed the stocks. Bed Bath & Beyond, Best Buy. How about some Shield? How about some, I don't know, you can name them all. Point being is it's nice to be a trader right now. You know why? Because at this first sign of weakness yesterday, I started saying, you know what, maybe I'm going to get back into shorting the Qs again. But most importantly, the best part about being a trader is the luxury of having the freedom to do what you want to do and not be beholden to any particular belief if that belief decides to change. What am I saying? What was all that? What did I just mean by that as I zoned off? Well, I'll tell you something. How about that HLF? Now, I've been saying this for many, many years. There needs to be a website, a very, very, very serious website about tracking these analysts who are out there just making picks, la-di-da, no repercussions, no consequences whatsoever. There was a guy who came on the other day and said HLF was his greatest idea, the best idea. If he had to put his life savings into one stock in 2014, it would be HLF. And here I am thinking, this got to be the top. Anybody that's this confident about upgrading a stock that just came from $25 at $80, you got to be out of your mind. And I know you're thinking, but a lot of stocks come from $25 and break 80 and they keep on going. But this stock is so clouded in mystery and mischief. Why would you want to make that your best idea? Or, even better, Mr. Smart Alec, why not upgrade it at $30 or $35, maybe $40? When it broke that 42 area, remember that? That was exciting. We thought it could go to 50. And then when it broke 50, we thought maybe this thing's going to go right back to 60. Then at 60, we thought maybe this had a shot to go back to 80. But this genius, for some reason, waited all that time and put an upgrade there at $80, thinking that this was the time to get in. Now you gotta believe. After a 400% move, now's your time to strike. Now again, you could criticize me for some of the shitty calls that I've made, but here's the difference between what I do and these analysts and Kramer does. They just keep saying the same thing over and over again, and they, you didn't get the memo that we told you that we didn't like that idea anymore. You didn't sell when it broke $35 when they reported that awful news. You were waiting for me. Just because I told you to buy it, that it was a buy. You were waiting for me to tell you when to sell it also. No. I just say buy. That's all I do. I just tell you to buy what I think, and then I go away. GoGo is that stock right now with Kramer. GoGo was a stock that I liked at $13, at 15, at 18. I said, now we got to look for this stock to get squeezed maybe into $25, maybe $30 after they report. We got exactly what we wanted. Now, I didn't think the stock was going to come plummeting right back down to $25. But you know what? Sometimes that's how short squeezes end up. But the most important thing to remember about GoGo, we're talking about stocks today. Stocks. The most important thing about with GoGo is that they had a lockup period coming to an end and people were able to sell their shares. So let's say there's only 10 shares out there, right? Now there's 3,000 out there. There's more stock. Chances are, if you don't increase demand, your stock is going to go down. Supply demand, easy thing. It really took root in GoGo. Now, for all we know, everybody was getting excited about the GoGo, and I was excited about the GoGo on the way up as it was breaking through some key levels, brand new IPO, finally getting above some breakout prices around 16, 18. It was very exciting at that time. But then again, got a little bit overdone at 28, 32, $35. I thought the stock had a chance to go to 50 this year. So it going from 18 to 35 that quickly, you kind of had to expect a little pullback. But here's the thing about the GoGo. Maybe it's done. Maybe it was one of those short squeeze, pump and dump stocks that sounded great, but now it's not. Because I'll tell you something. First of all, stock's acting like a piece of garbage. Okay? Stock is acting like a piece of crap forever. Forget about the lockup. The bids are not there. The stock gaps up and fades. It goes red too many times. Volume on the up downside has been trumping the up's downside volume. Most importantly, maybe nobody gives a shit about Wi-Fi on an airplane. Sounds like a great idea, right? But how much money are they really going to make? Remember, they don't make money. They don't make money right now. Took a lot of effort to build this infrastructure in the company. Maybe it's not going to work. I like the idea of having Wi-Fi on the airplanes, right? But as much as a great idea sounds great, I'll give you 1,000 penny stocks right now, and I will hype them up, and the story will sound awesome. Mr. Jones, here's what I got. You ever been to the dentist and you got to get that injection? Yeah, you're not afraid, but oh man, does that thing sting? And oh, if you only had something that took the sting out of that first injection, and then more importantly, somewhere for the dentist to throw his medical waste out where it doesn't have to be picked up by a Quest Diagnostics or something. So I got something for you, Mr. Jones. Get this. There's a new invention by blah, blah, blah Incorporation that has a retractable syringe. And what the syringe does, okay, is just about when it hits your gum to give you that injection, there's a little anesthetic buffer on the needle, putting the little anesthetic on your gum, also a numbing factor, so when the needle does go into your gum, you hardly feel it, making it very pleasurable. No, not pleasurable for the patient, but here's the greatest thing about it. Not only does the needle not hurt, but then it retracts into itself, and according to the FDA or some other governing body that I'm going to make up on this phone call, the syringe doesn't need to be picked up by a medical waste company. You could just throw it in the garbage. Mr. Jones, right now, that stock is trading at 33 cents. That's right. Very unknown company right now, but we think that this company has the makings to be a blockbuster billion-dollar company, which could probably get this stock at least into the single digits of $1, $2. We're talking about a 3,000% gain, Mr. Jones. And if this thing gets above 250, I don't want to get too technical with you, but once it gets over 250, it becomes a marginable security. Therefore, some hedge funds could start sniffing around, and we don't know what this thing could do. But Mr. Jones, at 33 cents, you got to pick up about 1 million shares. Because if this thing just gets to $1, you're up over about 300% on your money. And if some hedge funds come along and pick up, this could be a stock that changes your life and your family's life, Mr. Jones. Pick it on up. Sounds great, right? Sounds great. That could have been GoGo, for all we know. That could have been it. That could have been it. But I got more, Mr. Jones. I got an electric car company in China where you put in your money and a car comes out of a slot machine. Its name is Candy. K-N-D-I, like a candy car, K-N-D-I. All the rage. Stock's going, Mr. Jones. You got to be in it. But you know what, Mr. Jones? It's starting to come back in right now. Man, just shouldn't have covered that T-Zoo, but we are traders, so we see $380 and you take the $380. Anyway, any companies could be a pump and dump. Any of them. They all sound great. you got to pay attention to what the stock's doing. So right now, GoGo is one of our favorites. Condi was one of our favorites. NQ was one of our favorites. Dry Ships was one of our favorites. And now, what happened? They're all starting to look pretty shaky and awful, right? Market finally stopped going up yesterday. You haven't missed a boat. If you really think the market's going down, you still got some time. Okay? If you truly believe the market could actually go down. You do realize we got Google earnings coming out and Apple coming out and a whole slew of other companies coming out earnings that are going to dictate which way this market goes. But for all intents and purposes, I love that saying, for all intents and purposes, this market looks like it may have topped out yesterday. More importantly, the most important part of the reversal that we saw was yesterday in the futures market. NASDAQ futures were up 15. Everybody was going la-di-da, licking each other's assholes. Licking each other's assholes? And this is the guy you want to listen to about stock market advice? What's your problem? Anyway, everyone was all bully, here we go, rock and roll, Netflix is great, everything's going to be great. China data comes out, woo, reverse. Nothing better than a blow-off top into a reversal to the downside to make the shorters go, here we go. Live. Here we go, right? So the shorters got all encouraged. There was no dip buyers there in the morning, so we got a nice sell-off on the QQQ from around 88.50 to 88, made 50 cents. Am I still short the Qs right now? Just a little bit. How about the VIX? The VIX, right? For the first time in, 7 years, the VIX still is green for the day. Now, if you're in the UVXY like I am, split adjusted, it's 7,830 is the high, split adjusted. So, Mr. Jones, if you liked it at 7,830, you gotta double up here at 15 bucks. Dollar cost averaging, Mr. Jones, ever hear about it? If you loved it at 7,500, you gotta love it at $15. Come on now. Eventually, right, the VIX will maybe go up for more than one day in a row. All right. A lot of stuff out there, and probably the only thing you're focusing on is that I said licking each other's asses, because that's the kind of takeaway that you do. It doesn't matter about stocks or any of that other stuff.
This guy's good. I don't get it, man. He makes valid points, but I just can't trust him. He makes some really great calls, but it's this foul language, just very disturbing to me, Gladys. I don't know if we can trust him. I've spoke to the guy on the phone. He sounds like he knows what he's doing. He's got a family, for God's sakes. And licking each other's asses, I just don't get it. Why does he use this language? What's the matter with him?